Today's little project is going to make two different recipes of country smoked sausage. But before we can make it, we got to debone these pork butts and grind them. Step one. And we've got one of these down, or one pair of butts. We just have to grind the rest of them. When we get finished grinding them, we'll mix the sausage. We have the mixer set up and assembled. We have the first batch of meat ready to go, and we're going to weigh it out and get it into the mixer so that we can put our plastic wrap down and start our mixing and stuffing. So here we're going to go. The plan is this. Our scale won't weigh but 5 pounds at a time. So we're going to take and weigh these two butts, find out exactly how much meat we have, and get it in the mixer. And then we'll know how much spice to mix. We've got 15 pounds in the mixer. That is 2 pounds 9.6 ounces. That is very darn close to 17.5 pounds total. And our mixer is 17 pounds nominal, so that's going to be a good load for us. Let's take a look at our casings, and if you had an opportunity to see the video on cold smoking, you might have a hint about what we're going to do if the weather holds. Now here we have some cloth casings, and that's what we're going to stuff in. One recipe is going to be using some hot pepper. We're going to make a medium mix because that's the standard recipe I have. We're going to use the red stripe for that, and we're going to make some with a little more sage in it. We're going to use the white stripe for that. Now you could use these type of fibrous casings. You can smoke through them. They do work, but I think traditionally people use the cloth casings and they look right nice, and the casings themselves give off a nice smoke smell when you're done with them. So we're going to do what everybody else does and use the cloth casings. Another thing we have to do is we have to create some loop strings, because these sausage casings, these cloth sausage casings, don't have any way to hang them, and we're going to need to hang them in the pit tomorrow. So we come around here something about like this with just standard cloth cooking string. And let's see how much I get one more loop out of it. Take a pair of scissors. Just cut at the start of the next one. It makes a bunch of loops like that. Then you just simply take the ends, pull a tiny little knot, because then what we'll do is you take your hog ring and you put your pliers. And you take your loop string, and as you force it around the top of the bundle of the casing and squeeze it, now you have a loop string attached. And I'll show you that when we get there. Now here are the ingredients for the country sausage. I'll stop the video right here to give you the recipe as usual. You can hit pause to take it down. Now it works better if you add all of your spices to a mixing bowl first, dry mix them, and then as you're tossing the initial batter, you mix in the spice mix that is already mixed, if that's not too many mixes, because what it does is it helps you from really breaking up the meat too much as you put it in there. It doesn't have to be perfect, just pre-mix a little bit. If I can do this without sneezing, shake a little bit in. Set that down. Get it returning. Well, we're at the end of our mix, and in the interest of time, I'm not going to go to the time, stop the video to show you taking of the sample, but you really do need to take a sample to make sure that you have not gotten too much salt or pepper or something like that in there. And also load the hopper, you'll not see that, and the next thing you will see is the actual stuffing of the cloth casings. We have the basic batch done first. It has the red stripe. We also have our equipment cleaned, ready for the next batch. The dasher is all nice and shiny. The stuffer is all nice and shiny. We're ready to go. Just need to get this upstairs in the refrigerator and bring down the rest of the ground pork, and we'll go from there. Now for the heavy sage recipe, and it's called that, I guess, because I'm using twice the sage. There's no red pepper, there's no red stripe on the casing, just salt, black pepper, sage, no sodium nitrate, no sodium nitrite, no dextrose, no preservative, no added nothing, just natural ingredients. Clean stuffer, we're ready to rock and roll. To stuff one of these, you do it just like a fibrous casing, except you don't have to soak them. You just run the batter in, trying to keep it tight. Now you'll get a void in your sausage when you go back and slice it. These are 3-pound nominal bags. Pinch off the top, twist it to pack it down tight. Remember our hog ring from before. And there we have it.
It's 35 degrees. It's cool enough to be hanging some meat.
Let's see what we got going on up top. Well, I have taken cardboard and plugged off the flue as much as I can in there because I don't really have one. It's just a small, I don't even know what it was, 8x8 flue liner. But anyway, we're making smoke, and I need to point out that what I'm using right now is the homemade hickory shavings. And I got the pan packed full. I don't, as of right now, I don't have the lid on it because I'm using those green shavings. I thought I'd let it come up to temperature first to see if it looked like I seen any kind of thread of flare up first. Now, let's look at the setup. We took our sausage out in that little glass tray right there, lasagna pan. Made it nice and convenient, gave us a clean spot to set our sausage as we hung it. Now we have a little cord just gently snaked out of there, no sharp edges. It's of a proper gauge with no nicks, cuts, tears, splices. It's in good condition, of a proper gauge to hold the current of our electric smoke generator. Now let's look up top, see if we get smoke in here. Yeah, there we go. That's how our sausage is hung. Dropped in there. Let's see if I can zoom back out a little bit. It's supposed to be plugged off. Let's check it again. Yeah, coal smoking seems to be working okay. Now there's one batch. See, we darkened them a little bit. We didn't get too excessive, but we darkened them a little bit. And I want to remind everyone that this is a raw product.